A sunny Sunday afternoon in the heart of the European summer on the French Riviera as we welcome you to the final race of the first of 3 weekends for the 2025 E4 Championship. Nice to have your company for the final race of the weekend, the first round of the European Series. After we had race one yesterday afternoon, won by the pole sitter Gabriel Gomez, who starts at grid one, as you can see to the bottom left, now the very centre of your screen. Renaud Francot winning earlier this morning in race two, an upset. And the Dutchman looking to do likewise again. There he is in the Sol PHM car. Sebastian Weldon starts grid two for the final race of the weekend. Started the weekend yesterday with a third place, a fourth place this morning. And after just 2 of 9 races, he's fourth in the series at this early stage of the European Series. Nice to have your company wherever you are joining us around the world on a sunny summer's afternoon. We take a look at the grid. It is the boy from Brazil, Gabriel Gomez, who's looking to go from grid one for 2 wins here this weekend. Sebastian out of grid 2, Kim Nakamura-Berta, and Max Popov, watch the VAR driver. He's on the outside second row of the grid. Alexander Bodnarev and Alex Powell for RSGP out of grid 6. Renaud Francot, the race 2 winner this morning out of 7 alongside Newman Chi. Kabir Arnoldag, a super weekend thus far for the Singaporean Enya Frey. And he out starting ahead of Andrea Kostic out of grid 11 in car 4. And Ari Bansal from Bangalore in India ahead of the Australian Dante Vinci. Alexander Savinkov, Luca Vistoriano for Real Racing, Teo Schropp, Bart Harrison, the Jensen Motorsport duo. Guy Albach with the DNF this morning after contact. We'll get back to that in a moment. We'll get back to the Israeli. There is Emily Cotti, Alexander Ruta. He's alongside Abdullah Kamal from Saudi, Bader Al-Salati, the Qatari, Evan Michelini in the first of the Antonelli Motorsport drivers. And from Colorado in the United States of America, Andre Rodriguez Bulso. He was given a penalty for that contact with Albach. The Californian Peyton Westcott, Bennett Gaspar for Zengo Motorsport, Salim Hanna and Ginevra Panseri, who was delighted with her women's trophy podium this morning. She starts back on grid 29, one of 3 female racers, asking for no preferential treatment in the European Series. The other 2, Peyton Westcott and Emily Cotti, who recovered from that frightening crash in the Italian Series you may have caught last week at Mugello. The car's about to set off on their formation lap. You can see the breeze is starting to pick up here. It is a warm afternoon in the south of France. Gabriel Gomez from South America to start on pole position. The North American, that is Sebastian. The Andretti Jr. out of grid 2. 30 minutes plus 1 lap is the length of this race. We raced 16 laps in both races 1 and 2. As Gabriel sets off and leads the field around this almost 6-kilometre world-famous circuit built by the late French industrialist Monsieur Paul Ricard. And the signage on top of the pit building, about the only thing which is original from the track, which was almost abandoned in the late 1990s before the great Mr. E took over and turned it into what is the finest motorsport facility in Europe. Harry Parnsell going through, currently running second in the GB4 series in Great Britain. Had a really strong run earlier this morning. Renaud Francot taking victory. As it stands, the championship after 2 of 9 races sees Gomez P1 on 43 points, Francot on 35, Kim Nakamura-Berta third on 33, Sebastian Weldon on 27, and Kabir Arnoldag, who had a 4th and a 5th. Thus far this weekend, the Singaporean, the Alpine F1 Academy Junior, who starts grid 9, is 5th in the series on 22 points. This is the 3rd edition of the E4, the 3-round challenge series, effectively the European title. As the field make their way up through the Mistral Straight. Yes, I still have to apologise and make a correction. It is not the Mulsanne Straight, as I incorrectly nominated. Oh, I hate to say this multiple times in race 1 yesterday. It is the 1.8-kilometre Mistral Straight. The Mulsanne is about 700 k's to the north. Of course, that is at Le Mans. This is Paul Ricard on the French Riviera, approximately halfway between the port city of Marseille and the touristic city of Nice, about 2 hours drive in motor racing geographic terms from the streets of Monte Carlo, where many of these drivers are aiming to race in future. The first two editions of the European Series, both won by drivers from New York in the United States of America. The McLaren Junior Ugo Ugochukwu in 2023. Akshay Bora, who raced earlier today in the Formula Regional Championship, won the title last year. Speaking of McLaren, the McLaren Junior Ugo winning the title in 23. The McLaren F1 team arriving at the circuit late last night. Let's just say they'll be very busy in the next few days as well. Gabriel Gomez leads the field around for Us Racing. This is Alex Powell, coming off 2 victories in the Italian F4 Championship last week. Max Popov, car 3 for Van Amersfoort Racing, looking to take a victory here. Starts outside second row of the grid. It is Gomez on pole position on a warm afternoon here at Paul Ricard, Le Castellet in the south of France. You can see it's a warm afternoon, almost 30 degrees Celsius. Track temperature closer to 50. Earlier today, just a few off that. 8 tyres, I should say, 2 sets of Pirelli slicks from the outset of qualifying and this, the third race of the weekend. The South American and the North American on the front row of the grid. Here are Paul Ricard, the first of 3 rounds, the 2025 E4 Championship, the European Series, presented by WSK Promotion in their 20th anniversary season of World Motorsport. Gomez to the right of your screen, Sebastian to the left. Welcome to the home of the former French Formula One Grand Prix. The final race this weekend. Gomez, the series leader, on pole position. The 5 red lights for the final time at Paul Ricard. We race. Gomez from pole position has King Nakamura Berta go by his teammate. Sebastian back to third place. Watch Popov and Alexander Bondarev. Nice start by Enya Frey, who's looking for track position. Gomez goes P1. The Brazilian leads as 29 Formula 4 cars go down the hill for the first time. Sebastian Weldon, the Prema driver with his Prema teammates ahead and behind. There's Popov, and a good start by Alex Powell. There's the race 2 winner, Reno Francot, who goes by Kabir Anordag into the hotel corner for the first time. Andrea Kostic going through Emily Cotti and Guy Elbag. But it's Gomez in position 1. King Nakamura Berta, Sebastian Weldon, Kostic goes by and takes Anordag. The Serbian with a good start here for the final race of the weekend, but it's the South American in P1. Look at Enya Frey in the background. Bansal from Bangalore in India has made a storming start. He's P11, just outside the top 10 as Kostic fires it down the inside into the chicane, and Francot's off the road. Reno runs wide, as does Anordag. The field scattered down through the chicane as they go up the top of the Mistral Straight for the first time. Gomez leads the way. Nakamura Berta and Sebastian in third place. Alex tries the outside of the top rookie, Alexander Bondarev. Looking better here this afternoon, still goes with him. Anordag in the background. Bondarev and Powell go wheel to wheel. There is Luca Fisoriano fighting with the Australian Dante Vinci. The second Ukrainian, Alexander Savinkov. Gomez, Nakamura Berta, Weldon, Bondarev, Powell, Popov, Kostic and Reno Francot. Nakamura Berta has closed right up to the back of Gomez. Powell now starting to get frustrated as we reach the end of the first lap. Bondarev defends. Powell on the outside. Dive down the inside. Andrea Kostic, the Serbian, absolutely firing here this afternoon. Trying to get up onto the podium for the first time in the European Series. He's gone through and taken the race 2 winner, Reno Francot. Powell wheel to wheel with Bondarev, and the Jamaican goes by and takes the Ukrainian. Nicely done by the Mercedes AMG Junior. There's Bader Altolati on the inside of Ludovico Busso. He takes the Sicilian. Nicely done by the 2023 Qatari race champion. Having a strong first season in European competition. There's Francot. On the outside, Enya Frey, Adi Banchel, now inside the top 10. Weldon runs wide. There's Powell in 4. Bottoms out, going over the curb, coming up onto the Mistral straight. Pop off, Francot, Frey, Banchel, now inside the top 10. Car 11 in position 11. That's a Real Racing driver, Luca Visoriano. And the second Ukrainian, Alexander Savinkov. Nakamura Berta from Gomez. The gap, half a second between those two. Gomez, of course, ahead of the Japanese driver. They're going wheel to wheel in the Italian series throughout 2025. And they're doing likewise in the south of France in the European series. The driver from Florida in the United States of America, P3. Powell 4, Bondarev. Once again, a clean start, a commendable clean start from all 29 drivers in the field. The final runner, Kabiera Arnoldag, who's fallen right down to the bottom of the field. There's Kostic. Runs wide, Popov just behind, hasn't made the best start. RS duo going through, Guy Elbag up into P15. A DNF this morning, just getting back to that. The Israeli coming together with the Sicilian. Ludovico Busso given a penalty for that incident, which eliminated both the Viola Formula Racing driver and car 44, Guy Elbag, who's now into P15. Busso in 19 ahead of Emily Cotti. Dante Vinci has not made a good start on the rookie podium this morning, but the Australian down in position 21. Powell is flying, as you can see, closes in on the back of Sebastian Weldon, the RSGP car 41. Running fourth in the Italian Championship as Bart Harrison goes through in 77 after two stunning victories last week for the Mercedes Junior. And he's running fourth here this afternoon. That's Kostic, pop off. Andrea for Team Serbia, the 16-year-old, is in sixth place. Visoriano goes through. Bart Harrison, Savinkov in 52, and Teo Schrupp from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Savinkov on the back of the Englishman Bart Harrison. Nakamura Berta closing in on the back of Gomez. The gap stays at just half a second. Perfect line from the Brazilian. For us racing, Weldon, Powell, Bondarev, Kostic, Popov, Francot, Frey. That is Banchel outstanding ahead of Visoriano. Still Savinkov on the back of Bart Harrison in car 77. Gomez to the top of the senior straight at the end of the third lap. Our first retirement is Emily Cotti. It's been a tough 7 days for the British Kiwi. Car 42, the steering wheel comes out, and she is the first retirement of the final race of the weekend, the first round of the E4 Championship. You can see her teammate going up the inside, Guy Elbag fighting with Teo Schrupp. The Argentinian fighting with the Israeli. Guy Elbag in 44 from Tel Aviv in Israel, trying to get inside the top 10, has just lost his teammate in turn 7, just a local yellow. There is Harrison from Savinkov. Teo from the north of Buenos Aires for the Jensen Motorsport team, back to the front. Gomez, Nakamura Berta, Weldon, Powell. Fastest lap of the race is Adi Banchal from Bangalore in India. He's now inside the top 10. He's put a 2:08 dead on the board. The US Racing driver who's running second in the British GB4 Series, 10th outright after a race in the Spanish Series last year. Still Savinkov in the background. Look at that, the bottom of your screen. Outstanding from the Indian. Yellow flag still waving in the background for Emily Cotti's car off the side of the circuit. She's the sole retirement thus far as Gomez continues to lead. Ludovico Busso has just come into pit lane and left with a new front wing. He's going to rejoin just... Actually, no, there is enough gap ahead. He will be in front of the leaders. He'll be shown the blue flag, you would expect imminently, as Ari goes on through. Any Affray again inside the top 10. Paul, Bondarev, Kostic. This is the Serbian. The 16-year-old with the faith that he can go on by and take Bondarev for P5. Once again, a clean race here this afternoon. Emily Cotty's car, incidentally, has been moved to the side of the circuit. We stay green. We raced 16 laps in both races, 1 and 2. 93, almost 94 kilometres race distance. We have raced 188 kilometres thus far this weekend. As it stands, we will get to within 3 laps of a full Grand Prix distance here as we see the move down the inside from Kostic. Aggression from the Serbian. Almost takes the Ukrainian, who defends. Alexander Bondarev, the Williams Junior in P5, the top rookie. There is Paul just ahead. Kostic firing here this afternoon. Popov just behind. There is Reno Francot, the race 2 winner, as we get a close-up view of Sebastian Weldon, who rides the Ripple Strip in P3, where he finished in race 1 yesterday. Bondarev under attack. Here comes Andrea. Popov in the background. In the middle of your screen now. In car 3 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Race 2 winner Reno Francot van the Netherlands. Car 69 in P8. The chicane in the middle of the Mistral Straight. Kostic fires it down the inside. If he can hold it, he's done it. What a move from the Serbian. Sensational as he goes by and takes Bondarev. Andrea Kostic in P5. The attack, the response from the Williams Junior as they go up the hill, the top of the Mistral Straight through Sinya's Curve. Popov attacks the back. Does Max of Alexander Bondarev, who's already lost 1-2 car lengths. Back to Andrei Kostic, who's in P5. Popov on the outside. Here comes Reno Francot, the race 2 winner. A slight lock up ahead from Andrea Kostic. And Annie Affray is there as well. The Swiss driver for the Swiss team on the outside of the race 2 winner will run out of road though. And shortcuts the circuit. Francot just ahead of Artie Banchal. Frey loses the place to Artie Banchal now. Goes on through. Does this afternoon's fastest Indian. An outstanding debut in the European Series. 1 race in the Spanish Championship last year. Ari for us racing P9, Frey 10. Luca in car 11. In P11, that was Vistoriano in the background. From Harrison, Savinkov, Schropp. Guy Albag is now the 2nd rookie. And 15th outright from Ruta, Chi, Kamal, Peyton Westcott. Better drive from the Californian here this afternoon. She was so upset after spinning on her own in race 1 yesterday. She's recovered. She's in P19. Her father, Kevin, American GT3 champion. A couple of seasons ago, driving the Audi GT3 car, watching on trackside. Here's Kevin watching on her girl from the south of California. Peyton in 19 from Evan Michelini, the first of the Antonelli Motorsport drivers. Andre Rodriguez, also from the United States. The driver from Colorado, ahead of Bennett Gaspar. Speaking of the United States, you can see Sebastian closing up on the back of King Nakamura Berta. Powell. This is Kostic. Bondarev under attack from Popov. Reno Francot and Artie Banchal. The top of the Sinya's, the Mistral Straight into the Sinya's Curve. Approaching 230 kilometres an hour. And then they race down the hill. Weldon has closed up to the back of King Nakamura Berta. The car bottoming on the very flat Ripple strips here at Paul Ricard. 5.8 kilometres, 1 lap. And the fastest driver around it, thus far is the Andretti junior Sebastian Weldon with an 07.797. Gomez leads. Nakamura, this is Sebastian. Second generation racer, older, or the eldest of the two Weldon brothers, younger brother Oliver, watching on from the other side of the Atlantic, as is his mother Susie, as Luca Visoriano for Real Racing, the sole Real Racing entry, car 11 in P11, trying to get inside the points. Chasing down Ania Frey, car 20 again in P10. Gomez with an 0.75. The gap just 0.6 of a second back to King Nakamura. Down the bottom part of the circuit, the hills in the background looking towards the Pyrenees, where Le Tour de France, the biggest sporting event in the world, rode through just a few days ago, not too far from here, did Le Tour de France. The great classic on its way back to Paris to finish in a few days' time. Having recently, not too many years ago, actually including a lap of Le Castellet as part of Le Tour. Not this year. It is Gomez in P1 though, as Sebastian just fights the wheel ever so slightly. There's Powell in P4, is actually starting to catch up to the back of Weldon. Popov, Francot, and Ari Banchal. Enia Frey still in P10 from Luca Visoriano. Once again a clean race as we go into the second half. The third race, the first round, the 2025 European Series. This is the E4 Championship presented by WSK Promotion. Visoriano goes through. This is Savinkov, Teo Schrupp, Guy Elbag, the second rookie from Ruta, Newman Chi on your screen, and Bart Harrison tucked in right behind the Chinese rookie. Francot trying to go by Popov and seemingly has done so. Around the outside, it now becomes the inside. The Dutchman takes car 3 for Van Amersfoort Racing. Francot with a race victory earlier this morning. Now moves up into position 7. They go 2 wide, they go 3 wide. A huge lock up from Enia Frey, who goes on by. He's done it. Fabulous pass by the Swiss driver to take the fastest Indian at the circuit here. Enia Frey goes through to P9. The gap, 0.4 of a second now between Gomez and Nakamura. This is Alex Powell. Better run here this afternoon for the Jamaican, the Mercedes AMG Junior. A podium would be a nice way for him to finish. Visoriano trying to get inside the top 10. The Romanian behind the Indian. There is Frey just ahead in car 20 for Jensen Motorsport. Gomez continues to lead and puts in a purple sector as Nakamura with an 07.352. The leading trio, it's about to become a fight between 4, you would think, because the Mercedes junior, Alex Powell, is closing in on the back of Sebastian Weldon. There's Kostic, Bondarev, Francot, Popov, Frey, Panchel, and Luca Visoriano, a DNF for the Romanian yesterday. P14 this morning, and he's now just a position outside the points in car 11, in position 11, closing up to the back of the Indian Ari Banchal. Big 7 days for Ari after taking victory 7 days ago in the United Kingdom in the GB4 Series. That's netted him to move into second place behind the Englishman Daniel Ginchard. Still inside the top 10 for the German team in car 46. Gomez, though, his teammate in position 1. Weldon just sitting in behind. Nakamura will get a better line as they come down the start-finish straight one more time. To start lap 8, it's Gomez in first place. So the gap last time, 0.7 of a second, stays at 0.6. Critically, though, you can see Weldon in the background on the back of his Prema Racing teammate. There is Powell for RSGP. Kostic also for the US Racing team of Gerhard Unger and Ralf Schumacher. P1 with their Brazilian star who won the first race yesterday when he jumped from grid 3 legitimately. The saying goes you cannot win the race at the first corner. He did. He got the jump on the two drivers who now shadow him in the second half of the final race here this afternoon. Gomez taking victory in race 1 24 hours ago. Reno Francot with the win this morning. And Gomez looking to take the series lead, this 3-round challenge series to Mugello on September the 14th before the series final at the home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix. That's Monza on October 26, as Weldon gets very close to the back of King Nakamura Berta into the chicane at the middle of the Mistral Straight and goes wide as Nakamura Berta, slightly wide as these Pirelli tyres get towards the end of their life. As you see Francot in the background, this is Kostic, a brilliant drive for Team Serbia. He's in P5, his best performance of the European season thus far in 2025. Francot on the back of Bondarev. Weldon now glued to the back of his Prema Racing teammate. The move is surely imminent. King Nakamura Berta leading the Italian series as Gomez just rights the ripple strip. The car bottoms out. Weldon close enough to attack. Watch into Le Virage Supon. Literally, that is the point corner. It's the final turn before coming onto the straight, and they'll start lap 9, the final third of this final race in just a moment. Weldon, will he attack as Nakamura Berta just pulls out slightly and sideways in the background? Is Weldon, can't do it. Powell, the gap is 1.5 seconds back to the Jamaican. Kostic, Bondarev, Reno Francot, that's Popov, Frey, Aribanshel, Visoriano, the second Ukrainian, Alexander Savinkov. The first is Sasha in P6 and the top rookie as well. Nakamura Berta trying to keep the car as straight as possible. With the turning, Gabriel Gomez, in fact all the leading trio, using as much of the racetrack as they possibly can. Straight lining over the flat ripple strips, staying on the circuit though is Weldon, as the inside right gets very light. And they race up the Mistral Straight. Having completed 9 laps, the gap is 0.7 of a second between the Southern American Gabriel Gomez from Sao Paulo, King Nakamura Berta, the English-born Japanese driver, and Sebastian Weldon from St. Petersburg, from Tampa in Florida in the United States of America, the Andretti Jr. in P3. Powell is catching the leading trio. This is Kostic. He's still got the final third of the race. Visoriano in the background. There's Aribanshal and Iafrey. Ari on the outside. Frey on the inside. They'll go wheel to wheel at the top of the Mistral Straight in 6th gear at over 230 kilometres an hour past the Winfield Driving School through Sinya's Curve. Gomez, the gap is out to 1 second. Frey on the outside, Ari on the inside. Look at Luca Visoriano in the background trying to drag himself into this battle. The Romanian is coming. Constantine Timona down on the pit wall, willing his boy on. And he is catching both the Swiss and Indian drivers ahead of him. They need to be careful because Visoriano is having his best race of the weekend, trying to get inside the top 10. The race 2 winner, Reno Francot, Popov just behind, who has not really recovered from that start, where he was on the inside second row of the grid 4. But now Max Popov flying the flag for the Dutch team of Fritz van Amersfoort. He's in 8th place. Lap 11, Bondarev, Francot, and Max Popov. 1 second now, the gap between Gomez and Nakamura Berta. This is Reno Francot on the back of Alexander Bondarev, who is still the top rookie, 6th outright. The second rookie is Alexander Ruta. Newman Chi just behind Guy Albag. 16th place, and the 4th rookie has got ahead of Bart Harrison, who's fallen to 17th. The Englishman who had a podium, a belated podium, unfortunately, at Monza in the Italian series. I say belated, I say unfortunate, because it was penalties late into the night. He did not have the honour of standing on the podium at Monza. It still counts as third place as we see Reno lock up the front left. Bondarev just pulls away, maybe a car length. The slipstream doing not as much as you'd think in these Formula 4 cars. The second generation Tata's T421 chassis, powered by the 1.4 litre Abarth turbocharged engine, 185 horsepower, and Popov using every piece of it as he closes in on the back of Francot. You would have to think have got tyres who have seen better days. He again locks up. Francot is losing pace, he's losing momentum. Popov trying to go by the Dutchman, who won in spectacular fashion earlier this morning here at Le Castellet. Bondarev, Francot into the final corner. Francot puts the car in the middle of the circuit. Popov saw that and takes the traditional line and will get a better run out of the final point corner. They come down the straight. This is the race leaders. 1, 2 and 3. Gomez, Nakamura Berta, and on your screen, Sebastian Weldon, 98, in third place. Francot with the move down the inside. Bondarev incredibly still does defend. Goes in deep though. Watch Popov! Max attacks on the outside. They're 3 wide. Down into turn 6. Francot's off the road. There's Barnshell. There is Frey. And Luca Visoriano, desperate to get himself into this battle as well. Bondarev still holds the place. He's the top rookie. He's in P6 outright. The dying stages of the final race, the first round of the E4 Championship. And Bondarev, Francot, they go wheel to wheel up the Mistral straight. Watch Popov, he'll get the better run through the chicane. Bondarev still holds the place. They're 3 wide through the chicane. Adi Barnshell is there, as is Ania Frey. Incredibly, Bondarev still holds P6. They're starting to bottleneck. Here comes Visoriano. He tries to white line it, no problem for the Dutchman, who won this morning. He tries the outside, wheel to wheel at 230 kilometers an hour. He's done it. The Dutchman takes the Ukrainian. Max attacks the back of the Williams F1 Academy Junior, who is running out of grip, running out of momentum, running out of track position. He's still got the place over car 3 for VAR. Frey, Ari Barnshell, Visoriano is now just a position outside the top 10 in the points in the dying stages of the final race here this weekend. Over the Ripple Strip, Bondarev defends for his life. Outstanding from the Indian on debut in the European Series. Max fires it down the inside. Bondarev goes off the road, and Max Popov finally goes on through to take the place away from Alexander Bondarev. Francot 6. Bondarev has got him back though. There's Visoriano in the background behind Ania Frey. Fabulous racing from these world junior talents in the first round of the European Series. As Nakamura Berta closes the gap to Gomez, but only by 1/10 of a second. Popov on the inside, now tries the outside. Watch the boy from Bangalore in India. He's about to be passed though. Ania Frey, brilliant racecraft from the Swiss driver, gives him space. Now with track position, puts it down the inside. Again, does not run into the back of car 46. Visoriano also does. What a race here this afternoon. Popov, this time for the second time, as Visoriano in car 11, still frustratingly in position 11. Popov has finally gone through on the Williams Junior, but Bondarev fights back. Into the chicane at the middle of the Mistral Straight. This time, no mistake from Max Popov. Bondarev on the outside. Ari tries to fire it up the inside of Alexander Bondarev. There's Francot, the bottom right of your screen. Popov defends. He white lines it past the Winfield Racing School, the former home of the Toyota Formula 1 Grand Prix team. On the inside of the Seniors corner, where they go wheel to wheel at 230 k's an hour. Bondarev on the outside, on the rubber line. Popov slightly sideways. Bondarev, what a fight back. He's got no more grip left. He's got no traction, he's got no momentum, but he's got the place. That was just brilliant from the Williams Junior. A defensive masterclass. 3 times Popov got him. He fought back. Bondarev, incredibly, he won't win this afternoon, although he is still the top rookie. He's still ahead of this battle, where Luca Vistoriano is trying to break into. He fires it down the inside of Popov, crashes into the back of Popov. Oh, no, Vistoriano. Max Popov furious immediately out of the car. Fortunately, it is off the racing line. Popov is out. Luca has briefly gone on through. He is in P10 for the moment. Expect race control to have a word about that. Out front, Gomez still with 0.8 of a second to King Nakamura, Sebastian Weldon, Powell, Kostic. Reno Francot has escaped clear. And Bondarev, incredibly, is still in position 7. On your screen from Enya Frey, Harry Banchel and Luca Vistoriano, despite the fact that it's a blue sky afternoon, there are clouds hovering over car 11 for Real Racing. That's Luca in 10 for the moment from the second rookie, Newman Chi. Bondarev, the top rookie, Enya Frey on the outside. As we approach the dying stages, this may well be the penultimate lap, depending on when Gomez does cross the line. Andrea Kostic, car 4 in P5. Reno Francot and then Bondarev, who has driven absolutely brilliantly as Frey in the background fights. We take a look at what happened just a few moments ago. A lock-up from Bondarev, disregard that. And then this Vistoriano front left into right rear, airborne. Car 3 off the ground, Max Popov. Severe damage to the right rear of the Van Amersfoort racing car. Luca, mate. A career best at Monza of 4th place in the Italian series. He was inside potentially the top 10 as Gomez does cross the line as he did in race 1, just seconds before the 30-minute mark ticked over. He's 0.7 of a second. Max Popov is out and furious, and justifiably so. Gomez with the race lead. Nakamura Berta, 0.7 of a second, has dropped off Sebastian Weldon. There's Powell. It looks as though he'll finish 4th here this afternoon, ahead of Andrea Kostic. The car gets light down the bottom part of the circuit. Andre Rodriguez, the driver from Colorado, also in the United States. There's his car in the background as well. 3rd race of the weekend, 3rd green race, 0 safety car intervention thus far this weekend. And we're just getting word from race control that yes, that incident for the moment between Popov and Vistoriano noted. It will be dealt with at the end of this race. We have ticked over 30 minutes. This is the penultimate lap. 1 lap away from victory again for Gabriel Gomez. Andrea Kostic, incidentally, as Weldon goes on by, has just put in the fastest first sector of the entire race. It's been an excellent afternoon for the 16-year-old Serbian, who only started motor racing 4 years ago, former Rotax European kart racer. Kostic, now in P5 in the European Series, here at the home of the French, or the former home of the French Grand Prix. Gomez, victory in race 1 this morning. Yesterday, I should say. 2nd in race 2 this morning, won by Reno Francot. Comes across the line to start the last lap of the race. King Nakamura Berta in 2nd. Sebastian Weldon looks as though the American will take another podium, as Gomez now 5.8 kilometres from victory here at Le Castellet. Luca Vistoriano, incidentally, is in position 10 at the moment, ahead of Newman Chi, the 2nd rookie, Alexander Savinkov, the 2nd Ukrainian, Alexander Ruta, is in 13th. Here's the third rookie from Guyalbag, Teo Schropp in P15, and credit to Abdullah Kamal as we look at Kin Nakamura down the bottom of the hill for the final time. Sebastian Weldon, the Andretti Jr. with a huge future ahead of him, as do all these leading trio of drivers. The leading four, there is Alex Powell and Andrea Kostic, who has impressed mightily here this weekend in the first round of the E4 Championship. It is early morning over in South America, but we say bom dia. Fala galera, a nossos amigos assistindo no Brasil. That's the end of my Portuguese, but we know you have tuned in from early morning in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. Your boy is about to win as Kostic closes in on the back of Powell on the final lap of the race. Gomez with victory in the final race of the second round of the Italian Championship north of the eternal city of Rome. That was a Vallelunga. He's equal second in the Italian Championship, tied with Sebastian Weldon. Kin Nakamura leads the Italian series. He's second here this afternoon. Sebastian Weldon will come home on the podium in P3. But it is the South American for the German team here in the south of France with just a few corners to go. He won race one yesterday. He finished second to the Dutchman, Rino Frankot, this morning. It's time to break out the famous line as Gabriel Gomez goes into Le Virage de Pont. The checkered flag is about to wave. O menino do Brasil, the boy from Brazil, Gabriel Gomez takes victory again here at Paul Ricard. Gomez wins again. 2 victories from 3 starts here at the south of France. Nakamura home in second place from Sebastian Weldon. Powell holds off Andrea Kostic. Frankot, Bondarev, the top rookie. Ari Banchel, Annie Afray, they go wheel to wheel across the line. Frey just holds off the Indian. Luca Visoriano does cross the line, car 11 in P10. But that may well change into the night. Newman Chi, the second rookie from Alexander Ruta. But this is the race winner once again. Gomez from Sao Paulo in Brazil takes victory. Here in the sunny skies on a sunny Sunday afternoon in the south of France. Gomez wins. Rino Frankot just goes by, races him back to the pits. He'll be happy, the Dutchman, with his weekend with a victory this morning. But Gomez will take the series lead to the second of 3 rounds. That's Mugello, the 14th of September. Remember, the US Racing team did win the title with Akshay Bora in 2024. Alexander Bondarev, car 27, wins the rookie race and will win the race back to the pits as he gets pick up on the rubber, off the rubber line, going down the Mistral straight. Gomez wins, Berta second, and Sebastian home in third place. Powell, better finish for the Jamaican in P4 from Andrea Kostic, the Serbian 5. Rino Frankot and Alexander Bondarev takes the rookie victory. Annie Afray, Ari Banchel, Luca Visoriano does finish in 10th place. Newman Chi, the second rookie. Ruta on the podium as the third rookie home in P12. Savinkov, Guyalbag, and Teo Schropp, the Israeli, heads home, the Argentine, in 14th and 15th place. The Saudi Abdullah Kamal with an excellent first up weekend. Finishes just behind in 16th place. That is a commendable effort for the Antonelli Motorsport team driver. Bart Harrison, Peyton Westcott, Bennett Gaspar for the Zengo Motorsport team. Ginevra, second woman home, and she's 20th outright from Kabir Anurag. Salim Hanna, Dante Vinci, those rookies down the field. Ludovico Busso, Barer Al-Sulati, the final finisher after we lost Popov 2 laps from the checkered flag. Michelini and Andre Rodriguez. The South American wins in the south of France for the German team. The final of 3 races here this weekend. Gomez takes victory at Le Castellet. And once again, we did complete, this is one for the statisticians among you, 16 laps in races 1 and 2, and again here this afternoon. So we were just 4 laps off a full Grand Prix distance over the course of this weekend. Our E4 drivers, as Kin Nakamura steps out of car 51 in second place, we have raced 280 kilometres this weekend. Just 4 laps short of a full Grand Prix distance. 0 safety car intervention. There's Sebastian to the left, Keen to the right. That's an impressive performance by all 29 drivers. To be precise, 278.4 kilometres. Just 22 kilometres. 4 laps of a full Grand Prix distance. Here this weekend with no safety car interventions. It wasn't without controversy though, as we'll see in the highlights in a few moments' time. The highlight of the weekend though is the Brazilian who takes victory once again at Le Castellet. Keen makes his way up to the podium again this weekend. Will be second in the series as we head to Mugello. There's Sebastian. There's the race winner. Anna has still got that hat on. Gee, she's got her money's worth out of it. Miguel to the left. Bon trabajo for Miguel for the US Racing team. I don't think they're even on sale anymore. The final time the French Grand Prix was held here at Paul Ricard. As we take a look at the highlights. Race 3 here at Paul Ricard. From pole position, Gomez leads the field away. Great start from Keen Nakamura Berta. Weldon on the outside, darts to the inside. Has Max Popov up to P4. Eniafrey looking for his way through. Already inside the top 10. Gomez leads the way in the early stages of the final race here this afternoon. Reno Francot, winner of race 2 this morning, but back in the pack as Alex Powell, frustrated, tries the inside, tries the outside, and finally goes by and takes Eniafrey. Kostic fires it down the inside of the Williams Jr. and the Serbian absolutely in dynamic form. Frey locks up and goes wheel to wheel with the boy from Bangalore, Ari Banchel. 2 wide, 3 wide, down into the bottom of the circuit. Reno Francot locks up, goes off the circuit. Bondarev defends for his life. Popov attacks on the inside, attacks on the outside. Bondarev defends. Frey fires it down the inside. Muscles his way on by Popov. Vistoriano into the back of Popov. Max is out. The checkered flag waves. The boy from Brazil, Gabriel Gomez, takes victory in race 3 of the E4 Championship at Le Castellet. Paul Ricard in the south of France. Sebastian third again here this afternoon. So we'll be third going into the second round at Mugello in September. Keen second again. Gabriel Gomez with another victory as Miguel, representing US Racing, stands on the podium. Mr. Ciro Cesar, representing the Automobile Club of Italy, presenting the third place trophy to Sebastian, second for Keen, and the race winner, Gabriel Gomez. Miguel accepting on behalf of the team of Gerhard Unger and Ralf Schumacher, US Racing, with the victory.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles et Messieurs, l'honneur de Gabriel Gomez, l'hymne brésilien. Please, photo.
American drivers have won the first 2 editions of the European Series, and a South American will take the lead into the second E4 Championship race. That is at the home of the Tuscan Formula One Grand Prix, the 14th of September at Mugello. Thanks for watching from Paul Ricard, from everybody. We'll see you at Mugello in September.